Hello everyone, this is Neelam, and today I'm going to talk about the do's and don'ts around the menstrual cycles, especially from the standpoint of yogic practices. So, during our periods, our body releases eggs, and which causes a drop in the level of estrogen and progesterone hormones, which leads to both physical and emotional symptoms, and also changes in these two hormones causes or influences the serotonin levels, which is kind of a neurotransmitter that helps to regulate our mood, sleep cycle, appetite. Yeah, so low levels of serotonin might cause sadness, irritability, trouble in sleeping, bloatedness, ache, and unusual food cravings, all these common PMS symptoms. So these hormonal fluctuations may start a week before the periods, or even little earlier, or just when the period starts, depending upon person to person. So a very popular query that I get during my yoga classes that I teach is whether or not I should practice yoga during my cycles. And the answer is absolutely yes, you should. There is no reason that you can skip yoga or you should skip yoga during your periods. In fact, it will really help. So, though we need to take care of a couple of things, but when we exercise, we do yoga, they increase the dopamine levels, which is happy hormones, and that will uplift your mood, and overall also it will help. So let's talk about yoga practices. Keep it gentle, and if there is a heavy flow or if you're feeling fatigued, then listen to your body, and in between your practice take little rest and get back again and again, start like that. So now certain asanas including inversions, they should be avoided throughout the flow. The reason is when we practice inversions, one type of prana which is called as apana, which normally flows in downward direction from the Manipura chakra, which is stomach, to the Mooladhara chakra, which is cervix, and that nourishes the digestive organs and reproductive systems, and also elimination is supported by this prana, so which gets reversed when we do inversions. And as you know, during periods, the elimination is important of the flow. It needs to go out, so that will be that kind of get affected. So that's why we should not do inversions strictly. Other are like very strong asanas, particularly like back bends, arm balances, and standing postures that put a lot of stress on the abdominal and pelvic region should be avoided. Slow Surya Namaskar can be done if there is no heavy bleeding. You can do that. Other than that, gentle forward bends, Paschimottanasana, Shashankasana, Shavasana, all these, like all the forward bending, not Shavasana, the other forward bending asanas like Paschimottanasana and Shashankasana, they give light massage to your abdominal area and the pelvic region, which helps to relieve the congestion and heaviness and cramping and heavy bleeding. Yeah. Gentle back bends, especially when supported, can reduce back pain and pelvic discomfort. So we can do that. Also, a very easy comforting posture is lying down on your back and putting the legs up like little apart without lifting the pelvic, which will help to remove the stagnant blood from the pelvic region. Also, sitting in Vajrasana helps. Yeah. Now, bandhas should be avoided for similar reasons. Like on a pranic level, bandhas, when we apply, the prana moves upwards, so instead of going downwards, and physically they add more contraction on already tight region, and in case of Udyan Bandha, increases the heat, and that can lead to heavier bleedings. Yeah. So these should be avoided. Now comes to Shatkriyas, which is cleansing processes. So we can do Jalneti, Dantaneti and Tratak, etc. But all other kriyas we should avoid, like Kapalbhati, Vaman, Shankhapakshalan, short or longer version, both should be avoided. We should do pranayamas Yoga Nidra, Shavasana, and meditation, they all reduce the emotional disturbances and calm the mind down. So, however, do remember when you are doing the pranayamas, don't apply kumbhaks or bandhas, because, and also don't hold your breath as because of the same reasons that we discussed. So if we take care of these points, we should be able to practice yoga as usual as any other day of the month. Yeah. So yeah, and apart from that, we can, about food, if we see these days we get a lot of cravings because serotonin increases the appetite and we crave for junk, fried food, sweet food, so we should not give in for that. Generally we can eat bananas as they are rich in potassium, magnesium, vitamin B6, which helps to reduce bloating and boost the mood and helps to get the pain relief. Also we can eat red dates, pomegranates. They will help to, because we release blood as well, so it helps you to get the hemoglobin in blood back. We can have herbal tea with ginger and some honey in it to ease out the discomfort. We should avoid taking cold showers, drinking cold water, eating any cold food, because they will worsen the menstrual cramps, because you are creating a lot of ups and downs in the temperature in the body. So that's why we should not do this. And so yeah, that's all about what to do during the periods. Also, when we are not on periods, we should continue doing our yogic practices regularly during the other days of the month, so that our menstrual cycles become balanced. So I hope this was useful. If you have any further questions, you can ask me or leave a comment. So thank you very much for listening. Have a good day.